y'all drinking on though?
I have right here. I have a fuzzy navel type of drink. I don't drink, so just for this show, I'm gonna be drinking with you guys, bro. What you drink?
Now I just got a little, 18.
Hey,
Mystery and pineapple juice or a little lemonade.
This is all hypothetical. This is
My wedding day. That is getting ready for my wedding in 2015.
Oh, the dude.
Nah, no name. Hey, no name, bro.
Hey, you about to start something now, ain't you?
Dead gone, ain't
Hey, we were waiting on bro. Ass had about 3 cups.
Nah, I ain't gone. Hey,
I said wait.
I ain't gone. I'm here, man.
Welcome to Red Cup Special. I'm here with my host Mike E. What's going on, brother?
Black, blessed, and highly favored, brother.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we have another co-host. He's going through a couple of things right now, but when he get in, we'll allow him in. Hey, so Graham's still on fire for probably the 9th week in the week.
Nope, I'm not leaving because I get 5 minutes to speak and I have 4.5 minutes left to speak.
You forfeited your right.
No, I did not
forfeited
either.
your right.
You get your hands off of me.
You're getting ready to get in trouble.
Best thing to do is move on out the door.
We had Graham on fire. We got a return guest. Terry Johnson is back on the show.
I'm just curious, why aren't any of the police wearing masks in violation of the governor's order?
What are you doing?
Why are you all breaking the law by not wearing masks?
Man, why are
We're
you
not
breaking the law?
breaking
We know you're with Antifa.
You know, I'm just out here trying to enforce law and order like a good citizen.
Yeah. Take all pictures you want, sweetheart.
And you know, it's not illegal to be against
Elizabeth
fascism.
Baird.
Do you, hold on, does the Alamance County Sheriff's Office believe it's illegal to be against
You're
fascism?
such a sweetheart.
Because you just said I'm breaking the law by being anti-fascist.
not breaking the law.
And that's his right, not to wear a mask. If he don't want to wear a mask, he shouldn't have to wear a mask. He don't want to wear a mask. But as a public official, he should wear a mask. I think your rights kind of change differently when you become public officials. You know what I mean? You're responsible for different things, and you have to be in the best interest of the people. So, which goes to show, hopefully, the young man is looking out for the best interest of his county.
Now, how did you feel about the way he was treating the old girl? He called a sweetheart. I thought that was very condescending and patronizing. It seemed like the thing started to get a little rocky later on. He took his time really to get up in there. I also think he kind of acted on with the way he was talking to her, calling her, saying, we know you were part of Antifa and all that. I just think that was irresponsible altogether, though.
Well, you can look at it a different way. He might have been flirting in a certain way. At least he didn't grab a butt after he called her sweetheart. I normally do, but but it's not too many people I call sweetheart, though. You know, and to elaborate, I don't know. People taking stuff. If you say it was disrespectful, then he was disrespectful. If the lady said she felt disrespect, excuse me, then you can't downgrade her how she felt in that situation. Just think he needs a better way of communicating with the citizens of Alamance County.
But every bitch I know that has fucked him says the same shit. Like,
Did he peas on him?
yeah,
I think
and
his
he's
kid-
psycho. Like he took my phone and my purse away for like a whole day, held it over the balcony, was like, "Bitch, if you're trying to leave, I'm gonna drop this shit." I'm like,
But y'all didn't want to believe me. Okay.
And he's
he
just.
did the same thing to her. Like he just does the same shit. He's like weird.
But so he keeps you in a hotel room for this long, and he's just fucking you like a million times.
Yeah, and I kept asking like, when can I leave? What time is it? And he like just wouldn't answer. He would just fucking ignore me, and I'm like, okay. And then he was like, you can leave when I go like to my flight. And I was like, okay, when's that? Wouldn't tell me. I'm like, okay.
It was a little weird. I'm learning in my growth to just because it's an allegation doesn't mean that it did or didn't happen. So she's just speaking from her side, whether it's the truth or not. She wants to be heard, apparently. But according to that video, it's just a little weird to me. It seems like she knows she has a job to go in and do whatever situation, and she's happy for her job. But apparently she was asked to do overtime. She didn't want to do overtime, put in overtime.
Now she said that he urinated on her. I think that would be the correct word. He peed on her. And that's where things started to get a little rocky. Is that what happened, Alan?
It was a little rocky before that, but that was part of the rockiness, yes.
When did things go off her hand?
But see, that's the thing about
I believe how it started was that she was done. She wanted to leave, and he wasn't trying to let her leave.
That's what we got to figure out, her job description. I mean, like I said, you got to figure out. I'm not saying, excuse me. I think the job description was a wrong term. What she was there for description. Apparently, she came there for other activities, but when it went to the urination, that went too far. So
when she was done having her fun, she wanted to leave, and he kept her there. Is what they're saying, right?
Well, yeah. Apparently, off the record, the way the interviewer said, he was wearing that thing out for a long time because she said it was a pile of condoms on the side of the bed. I don't know if in my best day, a pile of condoms in one day is just a little extreme. So, but Trey Songz, he can pull it off.
They call him Trigger. That's why they call him Trigger.
The NFL Network reported that the Seahawks cut ties with Kima after he was caught on video trying to sneak a woman into the team hotel room. She was reportedly decked out in Seattle Seahawks gear to make it look like she was actually an athlete or an authorized visitor who had access to the hotel.
Oh, man. Well, training camp's a long time. But this your livelihood, boy. Man, he snuck her in dressed as a Seattle Seahawk player, which tells me how she looks.
You know what? That was my first initial when I heard about it. I was like, "Yo, she has got to be tremendously bad." Yeah. Well, no, I thought she was. I mean, super gorgeous. To considering that he's risking his job, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but then at the end of the day, you're like, is any woman that gorgeous to put millions on the line and say, you know what, I'd rather take this versus these millions?
How did you get past security dressed like a Seattle Seahawks player and look gorgeous?
Man, well, I mean, I'm sure if they putting wigs on men hair, they put a wig on a, made a mustache or something. She put a old goatee on.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, ain't nothing. Defensive end. I'm a defensive end. Yeah, you look like one. Get on, go on to your room. Nah. What position you think he was dressed as?
I don't know. I think that was just a childish mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very.
But I think they did the right thing by kicking him off the team, though. I think in a situation like this where we can't be having people come into hotel rooms due to COVID, and we're trying to keep players safe, keep people safe. that's just one of the rules. You got.
Did they make an example out of? Did they make an example out of?
No, I don't think this is an example. I think to say, hey man,
he was a rookie. He was a rookie.
Yeah, but this is dangerous. I think you can't have any of these people, any outside people coming into your hotel room right now. That's just what it is.
That boy was looking for what you call a conjugal visit.
Senator Harris is a historic pick for many reasons. The daughter of a Jamaican immigrant and an immigrant from India. She is Asian American.
What we know about her is that she's 55 years old. She was born in Oakland, California, the daughter of a Jamaican father and Indian mother.
She doesn't mess around. I mean, that's why she got on her knees and, gave her to Mayor Willie Brown.
He knows her back.
Kamala Harris will get on her knees for anybody, for any sort of power or money. So we know that she would the long of George Soros if she needed to get power. So this may be indicative that that's how she got that.
Tucker, can I just say one quick thing, because this is something that will serve you and your fellow hosts on Fox. Her name is pronounced comma, like the punctuation mark la, Kamala. Okay? Seriously, I've heard every sort of bastardization.
So what?
That's how it is, Kamala. Okay. Well,
but
I think it's out of respect for somebody who's going to be on the national ticket. Pronouncing her name right is actually not. It's kind of a.
So
bare
I'm
minimum.
disrespecting her by mispronouncing her name unintentionally. So it begins. You're not allowed to criticize Kamala Harris or whatever because Kamala Harris.
First of all, I'm not at liberty to speak on who I support and who I not. I don't openly speak on that. So, but I think she's a light-skinned lady. I think she's a member of the AKA, and that's all I can.
She went to Howard.
Went to Howard.
Yeah, she was a member of AKA. She's
black. She's black, correct?
She's black. You know what I think is funny? It's like anytime a black person gets successful, we start to say, well, are they black? But if she had went to jail, and this is how I'm seeing it. If she had went to jail, no one would question whether she was black. You see what I'm saying? But when she's nominated for vice president, she's not really that black. You see how I think? And I mean, she's her dad's from Jamaica. He's always the only female in a room, in all the rooms she's mostly ever been in. She's always been the only female. If she wasn't running for vice president right now, if she wasn't in Congress, she would probably be just as nervous to be pulled over by the police as any one of us. So yeah, I say she's black. You don't get much blacker than going to a HBCU and being part of AKA. She's also Indian, and that has to be acknowledged as well.
I mean, I see where you come from. I don't know if what's the technical term on being. She's mixed, correct?
Yeah, she's biracial. Her dad is Jamaican and white, and her mom is a native of India, the country.
But she's going off what her father's origin, correct?
I mean, you don't go off of one thing or another. It's just who you are. You see what I'm saying? She's just who she is. Like, I don't think we define who's black. I think what is defined as black is what the rest of the world sees the person as.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just just curious of how do you determine mixed races or whatever. What do you consider? I mean, if she has black on a birth certificate and she's done made it this far, putting black on applications, hey, then she's black. I mean, she identifies as a black woman.
And she's from Oakland. That is the birth of the Black Panthers. So, I mean, it's a whole, like, if you would hear a story that a Jamaican gave birth to a woman in Oakland, and she was to become the vice presidential nominee, going to Howard and being a member of AKA sorority, you would say, if you didn't have to see the person, you would say, yeah, that's a black woman right there.
Yeah. Because I know you was a Bernie supporter, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So
how do you feel?
Right. So Senator Harris wouldn't have been my number one pick. I would have thought you would go to someone who would be more progressive. However, when you look at Kamala's record in 2019, she was the most progressive senator. She was named the most progressive senator, even more progressive than Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, who were my two top picks from the Senate. So yeah, I mean, I gotta go with what Angela Davis said. It's like saying, yeah, her and Biden are doable, because we have the ability to pressure them to get certain things done. Medicare for all is just one of the things. I definitely think they would improve the education system here. I think that with both of them, they will push the 1619 project, these type of things. And I ain't gonna get everything I want, but even with Bernie Sanders, I wasn't getting everything I want. Bernie Sanders was against reparations, and that's something I definitely support. So you're gonna always be left wanting something unless you run for it yourself.
Correct.
I don't want to argue no more. I'll get out. I'm walking away. This nigga from out the backseat of the car started shooting me. You shot me. I ain't get cut by no glass, but let me tell you why they saying that. When the police, because the people in the neighborhood, there's a witness. When the police came, because the neighbors called the police, this did not happen at Kylie house. This happened damn near back at the house I was staying at. I was just trying to get home. We was 5 minutes away from my spot. The police come. I'm scared. All this shit going on with the police is shooting motherfuckers for anything. The police was literally killing black people for no motherfucking reason. Soon as the police tell us all get out the motherfucking car, the police is really aggressive. You think I'm about to tell the police that we, niggas, us black people, got a gun in the car? You want me to tell the laws that we got a gun in the car so they can shoot all of us up? Nigga, I'm scared. There's a fucking helicopter over us and some more shit. Why the fuck would I tell the laws somebody got a gun in this car and this nigga shot me? So I can get shot, you can get shot, she can get shot, he can get shot. I ain't tell the police what happened immediately right then because I didn't want to die.
Is it snitching if it happens to you?
That's weird. That's weird. That I'm looking that's as you slow the situation down and you see you put yourself in the police shoes and you say, hello, are you shot? And she's limping, of course, and apparently she got a hole in her foot and it's bleeding. So you say, I don't know if she goes by Miss Stallion or how the officer approached her, whatever, but you kind of say, have you been shot? And she's limping and she's like, no. You're like, yo, I see a hole in your foot. Have you been shot? No. Where the blood in the hole come from?
I think she said it was glass. So one argument is the glass, the bullet hit the glass and the glass cut her foot. That's what Tory Lane is saying.
Did she go to the doctor? Well, hold on.
She went to the hospital. The hospital said they found bullet fragments in her foot.
Bullet fragments or the bullet?
You will have to ask our producer, but that's what I think is bullet fragments.
I just think it's weird. I don't know. I think she's getting a lot. She's getting a lot of, yeah, she did say, I think I did see her do that interview saying that she didn't want to say, but now she's coming out saying that she was shot. So,
why say it now?
Huh?
Why say it now? When you had the opportunity
because Tory Lanez was lying about the situation to other people, to news sources. His team was going around and shopping a story about things that, like saying that Megan was doing things to provoke him and things like that. So she came out and clarified her version of the story.
Oh, it's tough, man. Like I said, you kind of become like, hey, have them settle it. You know what I mean? Leave their business. But then, you know, to some people, he's gonna be like, no, you should care about how she's being treated. You know, so you're in a tough situation. I don't know how to. I don't know how to feel. I don't know. You know, you just, you know, wish both of them the best. I mean, I hate that he felt the need to pull a gun on once again another black woman. And I hate that she had to be shot by a black man. So it's just two cases of you got to do better.
The Louisiana's Supreme Court has denied a request to review the case of a black man who received a life sentence following an attempted burglary conviction, a punishment one dissenting judge called cruel and unusual, given the object he allegedly stole was a set of hedge clippers. Burnett J. Johnson, the state's first African-American Chief Justice, wrote a scathing dissent published last week. Johnson said the conviction stemmed from the defendant's repeated petty crimes and the state's strict habitual offender laws, which she said have historical ties to slavery and racism. The case, as described by the Washington Post in a 2000 Louisiana Court of Appeal opinion published by the Free Law Project, involves a 1997 incident in which Fair Wayne Bryant was convicted of attempted burglary. After later being stopped by police, Bryant faced allegations that hedge clippers found in his vehicle were stolen from the carport, a claim he denied.
I think a situation like that has happened way too many times. This is why, this is the systemic racism that we're talking about in the criminal justice department that definitely needs to be reformed. There's no reason anybody should be put in prison for the rest of their life for stealing hedge clippers.
We'll be back here shortly with an interview from Dreamer Caldwell.
Look, I didn't sleep maybe 5 minutes. It had somewhat to do with the excitement of this game, but also my roommate snores incredibly bad. And so I texted his wife and asked her how she does it, and I think she's just deaf. The sacrifices that we personally made to be here are incredible. My wife's boyfriend sold his prosthetic leg on Craigslist to afford me the opportunity to be here, but they get alone time, and I get a chance to be in Omaha, and my double-wide trailer will turn into a single-wide when I get home, but we got a Fund Me page that I get to go check at the local library on the line. So I get to go check that GoFundMe page, and as soon as I get enough money to afford him a new leg at the end of next year, we're going to be right back.
Welcome back to Red Cup Special. We are joined here today by one of the candidates for Alamance County Board of Commissioners, Dreamer Caldwell. Thank you for joining us, Dreamer.
Hey, y'all. Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So, first question, always the first question, what's in your cup?
So, I am working tonight at 11 o'clock, so I have ice water kind of in my cup. Ice water kind of keeps me grounded, keeps me going, keeps me flowing, keeps me healthy. Keeps me energized after waking up.
That's different. Ice water. We have a first ice water. Hey, so you're out there, you're doing a lot of things. Everywhere I turn, there's Dreamer Caldwell this, Dreamer Caldwell that. I know you started, when you announced, you was kind of one of those names like, okay, well, how's she gonna do? Let's watch it. But now you're like everywhere. So for those who don't know Dreamer Caldwell, tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I'm Dreamer Caldwell. I am a native of Alamance County, born and raised in Alamance County, educated in the public schools in Alamance County. I graduated in '95 from Williams High School. Go Bulldogs! And I forgot you're a Cavalier.
Oh, bro, what are you, Mike?
No, it's a Cavalier country.
Oh gosh. Well, I am a Bulldog, and so I also graduated from ACC, and I've spent like the last few years doing community service, working in different service organizations in the community. I like to tell people I'm new to politics, but not new to people. And I've been in the community for a while, doing back to school drives, clothing drives. This is just kind of taking a different take on what I've already been doing.
So you excited about it?
I am very excited. I'm very excited about change that is possible to happen in Alamance County. I've been waiting a long time for change to happen here.
Okay. So Alamance County Board of Commissioners, what made you run for that office?
So I kind of have to tell the whole story, what led to all of this.
We got the red cup. We
Okay.
ready. We listening.
All right. So as a little girl, I wanted to be a politician and I wanted to be a lawyer. And I kind of had a teacher that spoiled things, that kind of laughed, because I grew up in public housing in Beaumont. And so she said, have you ever known a politician to come from Beaumont? And she kind of, laughed. And that was the beginning of like the self-doubt in the back of my head. And as time went on, I became a teen mother. I did get involved in the criminal justice system. And so I just believed those things weren't possible. And so I went to jail about a supervision error that happened at a daycare center that I was the administrator for. And through that process, it just didn't feel right. It didn't. I understood I was being criminalized for the act itself, but then there was this other layer of criminalization that affected, like, basically because I was poor. And so I began to seek out like organizations that worked on, I had a $40,000 bail, and I began to realize it wasn't about guilt or innocence. It was about whether I had the money or not. And I was going to sit there if I didn't. And so after going through this whole process, finding out that there is no speedy trial that happens, but just going through the whole process, I began to look for organizations in Alamance County that was working for this. And I found Down Home. Literally, it just landed in my lap, and began to work with them. We formed the Alamance County Bail Fund. We began to do some other work. We stopped criminalizing the poor. And then the talk began to happen, where we realized that real change wasn't going to happen until somebody got on the inside to create the change. And it was kind of like that confirmation of that dream that I thought, it's kind of like Langston Hughes' dreams deferred. It was kind of like that dream. It was confirmation of that. And so I really began to play around with the idea of trying to change, because as much as we want to advocate, protest, you can do all that stuff, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. You need somebody on the inside that is going to listen and that is going to create change. And so as I began to learn what different offices did in the county, I began to learn how important the county commissioner was and things in the county. And so we've complained for years in Alamance County where things weren't equitable, where things weren't just, where things weren't fair. And it's just a new way of fighting this fight.
So another big question, that I have personally, I worked on for a while. A lot of people it started gaining a lot of momentum. The Confederate Monument. Now, earlier in the show, we showed Terry Johnson, Sheriff Terry Johnson out there with the monument. So if you are elected, will you vote to remove the Confederate Monument and ground?
If I am elected, I will vote to move the monument. I think that we owe it the honor and the respect that a small percentage of our county likes to hold. So I don't want to see it destroyed. And so I think that we need to relocate that statue to a place where they're able to honor it any way they want to, but not in front of a public space. And
so where would you like to move it to?
Wherever they choose to. A cemetery. whatever that particular, those sympathizers would best see fit. That's something that they could figure out somewhere on private lands, but not a public space.
Okay.
What does change look like for you? Y'all know you spoke on you wanted to see change in so what does change actually look like? Can you define your change in your eyes? And then define change to the people that you're going to be representing.
Okay. So I think change in my eyes is starting to happen. I'm starting to see communities and people work together that have not worked together before. And so I am really big into social justice. I think it is a root issue for a lot of problems. Some people are not able to find employment, to find housing, to find other assistance. So they turn to things like prostitution or drugs. And so I would like to see some type of social reform where people are given second chances, where people are giving a chance to have an opportunity to be productive in our county and not having to turn to illegal sources that create other problems. I also fight for fully funded schools. We have schools where children are basically in places where there's mold, where there's leaky roofs. And so the children, I mean, it's not a cliche. Children are our future. And so they are the future of Alamance. They will be our future postal workers, our future sanitation workers. And so we've got to fund those schools and make sure that our teachers in our classrooms have the support that they need. And so when we're looking at budgeting in our county, we're not cutting from places that are crucial. It's, making those big cuts from education. Because one of the things that I think that Republicans and Democrats in this race have agreed with throughout the whole process is that education is important. And so we need to act like it. We're seeing some changes in the court system, in the bail reform system that are happening slowly. Our bail policy hadn't been changed since '95. And so now we're starting to see changes. We're starting to see some reduction in the jail cell. So I know police probably think that we dislike them, but I really like the officers and the actors that are being beholden to the people, and they're listening and making those changes and doing those things. And so it's just a continual process, and it's a change that involves all of us, the undocumented in our community, the indigenous in our community, the poor, the working class. I would like to see all of us at the table. I keep saying it's the only thing we haven't done is sit down and talk. We've done everything else but that.
That's what's up. Now, a lot of people who are watching this never got into politics. They all have their opinion. There's some people that's sitting on the sideline waiting, wanting to get in. I know when I ran, I thought, it may not be for me to win, but it may be for me to inspire some other people to run and get involved. But this is your show, so tell us one of the most surprising things that you found, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, when you decided to run. What's one of the most surprising things that somebody didn't tell you about that caught you off guard a little bit?
I think that I know fundraising, I know that it's important, and I know, but I mean, like, just what this banner costs, just what these things cost. And when you desire to represent working class and poor people, like, people are giving. I'm not saying people aren't giving, but when you have someone who's able to give $5 or $10 versus somebody who's able to write a check for $5,000. And so it's like you're having to educate the community, because so many people in this community, like you said, are disengaged. I've met people in their 40s and 50s who said to me they've never voted. And so how can I talk to them about fundraising when the most important thing at hand is the voting? And so the hardest part, the part that, I've had lots of training now and I've had classes now. The hardest part is re-engaging people. Getting people to the point. I can't even have a conversation with you about what my goals are if you don't even want to talk to any politician.
Right.
If you don't want to hear it, you're not and frankly, you do politics. I keep saying it, or it's gonna do you one way or another. It's gonna get done, and so that's been hard for me, getting Black people to trust politicians, to trust politics, to trust when I say I want to be a voice for you. I think they've heard that a lot and seen something different, and so getting people to get in behind this campaign has been extremely hard. But I think that after the primaries, people began to listen a little bit more. Where people are contacting about how to register, how to do this, how to do that. So it's starting to happen. And I believe it's about, like you just said, inspiring somebody else. There has never been a Black female on this county commissioner board. And this race, if it shatters that ceiling and allows other Black women to follow, then goal is accomplished.
You think you're gonna win?
I absolutely am gonna win.
Okay.
That was a dumb question.
Absolutely am gonna win.
Question.
That's not a dumb question. You don't want to vote for somebody who don't think they're gonna win.
Yes, of course. Why play the game if you're not gonna win?
Some people are in it to send a message.
Well, I'm in it to send a message and win.
Okay. Go ahead, man.
So let me ask a relaxed question.
Okay.
How did we go to old Negro rituals and spirituals songs to Cardi B and how do you feel as a Black female coming from saying that we need a voice, Black women need a voice, but when you give the Black woman a voice, they speak as such, how can you explain that?
Well, one thing is that we're not monolithic. Like we have a range of things. There's no one Black woman that speaks for all Black women. And I grew up with Foxy Brown. I grew up with Lil' Kim. I grew up with some women who had a nasty mouth. And so there's nothing new under the sun. And so it's a part of this whole feminist liberation movement for me. You have the right to represent that for you, if that's what you want, but that doesn't speak for everybody. And so it doesn't bother me personally. Either you choose to listen to it or you choose not to. My children are all adults, but if my children were younger, they wouldn't be able to listen to it. I don't think that those women set out to be the role model for anybody. They set out to be who they are. And so I think that at the end of the day, there will be probably people who will bash me for it, but you won't get me to say anything completely negative about it, because you just turn the dial. I mean, simply turn the dial, turn to YouTube. Don't want to. I understand that all women don't speak. Those women don't speak for all women, and there is no one woman that speaks for all women. We're all a range of women, and that's the liberation of being a woman, right? I can talk this way, I can dress this way, and I can dress this way and talk this way and still have the right, nobody putting their hands on me. And or I could be as conservative as I want to. That's the beauty. So it personally doesn't bother me.
Waiting on Michelle Obama to bounce to it a little bit. I'm gonna wait on that.
I think that there's some, like I said, I think that a lot of people are gonna find liberation in just being able to say that stuff. For so long, we said all these little code words for certain things. We whispered things, and so I think there's a freedom in just saying it out. And if you ask me, Foxy Brown or Lil' Kim, I would have to say Lil' Kim.
What? You done lost Foxy Brown vote.
You know what? I think
I saw them when I was up at A&T, when I was a student at A&T. They did the homecoming show in the gym, and I fell in love with Lil' Kim.
I feel you. I'm just saying you lost. If Foxy Brown is watching this, she's like, "How dare you?" She probably can't hear it.
I love you, Foxy. No, I do love her.
Oh, that's funny. Have you ever watched Roots?
Yes, I haven't in a very long time.
Okay, just ask to go. See, we had Kristen in here. I know you and Kristen.
What
know.
about Harlem Nights? What about Harlem Nights?
I love. Listen, I have a BB gun mark on my little toe. Where it was that summer that came out, we bought BB guns in my neighborhood, and this dude and I tried to recreate that scene, and he literally shot my toe. So the BB is still in my toe. So it was a fun summer in my neighborhood when we got those.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny.
All my neighborhood folks is probably going to crack up about that. That movie was the cause of a lot of people getting hurt.
You really got shot
with shooting people in the throat.
Oh my! You know what?
Beaumont is gonna be angry with this.
Nobody was hurt. The police showed up and took our guns that summer after we went to the emergency rooms, and so nobody was hurt.
This is very important part of the show. Explain this picture right here.
So that is me feeling. It was a sleigh day, and so it was Christmas actually. I was celebrating taking full body pictures because I've lost a lot of weight, and so for a long time I only did the neck up shots, and so I took a full body shot, and so I was feeling fly. You see the little duck lips and stuff on the picture. So that's me from a couple Christmases ago.
What'd you get for Christmas? What'd you get for that Christmas?
For that Christmas, so usually my mom gets me usually money or gift cards. I can't remember in particular. I think I got some household things and a pocketbook that month. That year.
I will say this, Dreamer Caldwell, you are probably the most relatable person to run for county commissioner that I've met. I'm not saying that I like you more than I like any other candidate, but you are definitely relatable in the community that I come from, because you're from Beaumont. I'm from Morningside, so we're right down the street.
I live in Morningside too.
Yeah. So you're very relatable. Ends, you got any questions?
No. She spoke on her being able to play spades. Do you know any white people that play spades?
Actually, I do. I know a lot of white people versus black people that know how to play spades. It's sad. They play differently though. They play kneel and all that other stuff. Kid and all that stuff.
Okay, so is it a do they talk as much junk as you know
the brothers?
Differently, but yes, but differently, very differently. It gets serious sometimes.
Hey, can you give an example of the difference? Let's in a different lingo that is used.
I mean, it's body language. I've seen cards slammed down and decks thrown out, and marriages broke up. I've seen some serious stuff happen over a spades game.
Well, who's that a representation of?
I don't want to say it's one particular race of people, but I've seen it get serious. I really have. I've seen it. I played all through ACC. Any of my instructors at ACC can tell you that one thing about me is I'm wherever the card table is. They would come get me sometimes when I was late for class.
Let me ask you this. What you go to ACC for?
I went for early childhood education.
Okay.
I did that for about 20 years. That's my pre-career.
Right. Before you become a county commissioner.
Yes. And John, I want to say that your run was very inspirational too, because I think that I had seen one type of politician. And like when you talk about relatability, I think that it's important for people to run and be authentically themselves. Like, I don't have to pretend to be somebody else. Primaries, people got on to me about my dreadlocks. People got on to me about wearing t-shirts. people got on to me about my sneakers. I had too much sass at meetings, the kind of things, the feedback like that. But I think that it's something about being authentically you and kind of being transparent too. And so I appreciate you for being an example of that with your run.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What if Joe Biden called you and asked you to be the vice president? Would you have accepted?
I would have accepted it and been honest. Like, I got a lot to learn. I'm brand new to this. And so if he's willing to allow me, yeah. I read a book from Shonda Rhimes called A Year of Yes last year. And I'm on my year of yes. If the opportunity comes, then the answer is yes.
Okay. See, he called me, but I didn't answer. He left a voicemail.
Okay.
So he said on the voicemail, he said, if you don't call me back by 4 o'clock, I'm gonna go with Senator Harris.
Oh, you must have called too late.
Yeah. By the time I got it, I was like, that's fine. She's okay. This is shout out time. This is the moment we give the guests the opportunity to give a shout out, give any expression they want to. This is your moment.
Okay. I definitely, right now, I want to give a shout out to all the emerging leaders that are showing up in Alamance County, the emerging groups that are showing up in Alamance County. A shout out to the white people of Alamance County that are showing up and that are pushing for change in Alamance County. And I want to give a shout out to Down Home. I miss y'all Down Home. And so I'll be back after the election. They are my soul tribe and they keep me going. We're accountable to each other. We fight issues locally and don't have to worry about things across the world, and we worry about things here in Alamance County. So shout out to all those people.
That's what it is.
And shout out my team who's keeping me going. Like, yeah, we're all new to this and we're figuring it out together.
I was about to say, you left them out. You left them hanging.
I did.
Yeah, that's great, man. I appreciate you for coming through and giving some time to us and speaking to us on Red Cup Special. Thank you for bringing your red cup here.
Yes.
Having a drink with
feel
us.
like y'all.
Hey, you got a toast. You got a toast. Everybody got a
toast. All right. Thank you. You have a wonderful night. Have a great night at work. If you don't know, we're recording this on Wednesday.
Okay.
We're recording this on Sunday when we release it. But she has to work tonight.
All right. Thanks for the opportunity, guys. Have a good night, fellas.
Georgia.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Mr. President, after 3.5 years, do you regret it all the lying you've done to the American people? On
All the what?
everything? All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of thousands.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
All right, this week, got a little sports funding to bring in. Sometimes they deal with different activities. Some are, it's just being active. So if our producer, Alan, would play this video.
Did he hit the car?
So did he hit the car? I think he did hit the car. But listen, hey John, would you race a car salesman for a discount on a car?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I will win too. I will win. Best believe that. You best believe that. They take to him. Look, if he challenges me for a payment on the Ford, I would go out there right now. Shout out to Ty who sold me the Ford. I will take you out there right now, sir, and race you for one payment every month. He would probably beat me.
Listen, I think we're gonna set that up, and we're gonna have to let our viewers see that.
That needs to be that should be in every final contract when you buy a car. Y'all got to go out there and race. If he win, you get a discount. I would go up there with some Air Maxes on.
What's his name? Ty?
Yes, sir.
Ty, we're looking for you. If you see this, we're putting out a bid. Now, what are you putting up? If you lose, bro, you gotta pay a double?
No, I gotta keep paying them payments. Think about current payments. All right, I appreciate you guys for watching. Man, I want to give everybody a shout out there right now who is going through quarantine. I want to shout out my family, want to shout out my wife. We are having another baby. The gender reveal will be in a couple of weeks, so I'm really excited about that. So shout out to everybody out there doing well, and pray for us a safe journey through this pregnancy.
Congratulations. I want to shout out first and foremost the good Lord, and secondly, I'd like to shout out a special person that's in my life. A special person, which is myself. I don't even think I could do the things that I do if I didn't have the encouragement from myself. Countless nights I just pushed myself beyond belief, and I'm just proud of myself, to be honest with you. During a time of COVID, don't let that get to me. Recession, don't let that get you. Just keep working, pushing hard for better things. So shout out to you, Mike E.
All right, that's it, brother. I'll see you guys again next week. We'll be having the Reverend Jay Kennett come on. We're excited about that interview. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Hey, is he gonna drink wine or liquor?
It might be water, but by the time he's done, it might be wine. You never know.
Long as he got a red cup.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
Peace.